Hello, everybody. This is Ibrahim Sami from Azdan Business Analytics. Today, I'm going to cover within this demo the manufacturing process, including the demand planning, starting from the sales and how the process are interconnected to each other. I mean, starting from the sales activities, how can we create an opportunity and manage the whole sales process, and after that, connect this with the estimation team and the design team in order to have it in the within the manufacturing process and have a well-connected cycle till the billing to the customer and even collecting the money and having the financial impact as well. So I will go to the details immediately, and I will start logging into the system using the role that I'm using, or the email, which is manufacturing at Azdan. This is for the demo purpose. Once I log into the application, I have here multiple roles. So let's select the relevant role. I have senior executive role, sales, warehouse manager. Most probably we'll go through all these roles. So let me start the process from the beginning, which is sales. I will log in as a sales person. So I have all the leads, opportunities, the forecast, all the relevant reports, the quick icon that I can drill into, some KPIs and dashboards related to my role. Consider that I'm receiving a new inquiry from a customer, and I would like to submit it on the system in order to follow up on the other activities. So I will start actually by creating an opportunity. So I do have an opportunity. For this opportunity, I'm going to select the customer name for sure. Simply, I can add the customer from here. Now I'm using, for the sake of demo, I'm using this customer called ACM group. I've selected the customer. Multiple information can be added here, or different information can be included, for example, the stats of this opportunity. If it's in discussion, for example, we'll see that the probability is 20%. If the stats is identified decision maker, if the status is proposal, negotiation, so on, all of such information is also customizable within the system. And then I can define what the expected close date. So let's consider that this is the expected close date. I can define the expected total from this opportunity. So let's put 60,000 USD, and forecast side, let's make it upside forecast. From here, there is another function, just another functionality for project management or job management. So just for now, I will create a new project, and I call this project ACM project demo, just for now. And I will select from here the template related to this project, and I will explain later on how it's linked. So I'll select a new design template and just click it just for now with these simple clicks. Then for the department, I can select the department as sales department, for example. For the class, I'm going to select the product line, or different classes, different line of business. I have here additional information from on the opportunity level. You can define the items, contacts. What are the contacts? Automatically, the system inherits the contacts that are linked with the company. You can add multiple contacts here. You can even include partners, competitors in this opportunity as well. Qualification, so you'll find here some relevant information, and lead source, which is related to marketing part, and I will highlight this part. Within NetSuite, you can manage the marketing automation and marketing activities as well, building marketing campaigns and getting some insights about these campaigns, and I'll explain this in detail. So let's put here, because this is the estimated budget from customer, let's put the estimated budget is 70,000, let's say. This budget is, let's approve this budget. The readiness, it's hot readiness for buying time frame, it's less than a month. They are ready to close. This is a new requirement, or even you can define different. A lot actually of other information you can include, but just for now, for the sake of the demo, let's create this opportunity. The most important thing that I would like to highlight here, after creating this opportunity, actually multiple actions will take place. So first of all, we will see here that the opportunity stats, it's in progress, okay? And if I go to system information, I'll find here under workflow history, multiple action has been taken place. First of all, an email has been sent to customer, and the first task has been created to the sales rep. Another task has been created to the estimator guy, prepare estimate, and another task has been triggered automatically to prepare the designs. Now I'm opening my email. I'm expecting to receive these emails, these notifications now. Okay, so first of all, the system will send me automatic notification to my email, and the task has been created. So let's take a look about the tasks from here. So here I'll find that's perfect. Again, I'm receiving the emails and the tasks has been automatically created. This is the first task, which is for a sales rep task, and the prepare estimate. And the first task has been assigned, it's linked first, it's not a generic task, it's linked to this company. And the first task has been assigned to Ahmed Sami, second one to Alex Wolf, and third one to Bishoy Thami. For the sake of the demo, I have configured the system to send all tasks to myself to this manufacturing email. So this is sending this task has been assigned to you, and this is all the details related to this task. A custom message can be included as well. The other one, prepare estimate, it's originally sent to Alex Wolf, and this one originally sent to Bishoy as well. So these are the tasks. So automated notification has been sent. So accordingly, I'll be able to take the proper action. On my home dashboard, I'll be able to find these reminders. I can include them in reminder if they are not included, like for example, tasks. My tasks, for example. So I'll be able to find the tasks that are assigned for me, for example, so I can take the proper action on these tasks. Well, so this is the first step, is creating an opportunity and so on. Well, but by the way, this has been configured using native functionality within NetSuite, and this is very important since NetSuite is not only an ERP or CRM for managing the operation, but it's a platform. What do I mean by platform? It's a configurable. And one of the important features that I would like to highlight, within NetSuite, there is a module called Suite Flow, which is responsible for this kind of automation, for example. So I used Suite Flow from user interface using drag and drop functionality to configure the system to automate such type of tasks. That's perfect. One more thing that happened actually, that an email can be sent to customer, for example, so the customer can act. We are telling the customer that we received your opportunity, and we received your inquiry, and we are preparing this inquiry, and even you can include email templates and so on. No, okay, perfect. Just for now, and for the sake of the demo, what I'm gonna do, I'm considering that the opportunity has been, some of the activities has been conducted with the customer, like meeting and so on. And now the customer would like to have a quotation. So from the opportunity, first of all, let's see that the opportunity status is in progress. So from the opportunity, I'm gonna directly from here click on quotation. So I will start preparing quotation for my prospect and share this quotation with my prospect. So for sure, all the primary information has been pulled from the opportunity, and the expiry date as per our setup, it's expected to be after 1 month, for example. Here is all relevant information. In this step in the quotation, for sure, in the opportunity, I ignored to include the items included in the opportunity, considered this is a new opportunity. So you can create the opportunity without mentioning the item, but when it comes into the quotation, it's very important to mention the item here. There are actually multiple ways for selecting items. If you do have the items in your list, you can simply pick the item from the list. The other features that I will explain in details in the other video, which is how you can build an item, especially if you are manufacturing some items and these items are what we call it made to order. It's built based on the order that you receive and based on customer specifications you receive from customer. I'll explain this in detail. Just for now, I'll pick this item from here. Let's select the item with tensile sheets. Once I selected this item, all relevant information will be, first of all, the system is giving me some notification. You have 0 quantity available because this is a new item, as we mentioned, but all relevant information as per the bill of quantity, I'll explain as I mentioned this in detail. Or even you can have here the list price, you can have multiple prices for this one. Just for now, let me select the list price for this one, and for sure all taxes can be included as well, and all relevant offers. No need for to do anything except what is the expected shipping date, and this is very important for now. So let me consider that the expected shipping date is 14th of November, and please do remember this date. Okay, then under promotions, you can maintain promotions, different promotion codes and different rules for promotion. So I'll apply 10% discount for this promotion, for example. Okay, and under billing, some information related to this customer will come here. At the payment terms here, you can define the billing schedule as well. What will be the shipping? And it's important to highlight that the shipping can integrate with any third-party shipping application natively integrated with UPS, FedEx. So if I do select from here, UPS ground, it automatically calculates the shipping cost for this item, for example. Contacts as mentioned, sales information, quotation approval, and this is very important. You can maintain multiple approval levels. So actually Suite Flow responsible for doing so as well to maintain different approval levels. So I have here a quotation. This quotation is linked to this opportunity that we've just created. So back again to the opportunity, you will find the status has been changed to issued quotation or issued quote. So the quote has been issued, and here is the quote itself or the quotation with the status open. That's perfect. Before saving this quotation, I will have an option to save and send it directly to the customer. But let's say I have prepared the quotation, approval has been acquired from the corresponding team, from the sales manager, from the executives, approval from sales manager, approval from senior executive, and all the approvals that you would like to achieve. And now I'm ready to send this quotation to the customer. There are multiple ways. Let's do the simple one. From here, I just click email, and just in a few seconds, the quotation will be sent directly to the customer. Back again to my quotation from this recent records, for example. That's perfect. Very important to mention here, under communication, we will find that an email has been sent to the customer. Let's open this email to see what's inside with the template that we can include or we would like to configure into the system. Now I'm expecting to receive this email on my personal email as well, or the demo email that I'm using right now, and I'll show you an advanced or very interesting features. Okay, so I have here, this is the task. Okay, let's wait until I receive the emails to my Outlook. That's perfect, thank you. So here I have received the email, me as a customer, received the email with all the details. Consider that as a customer received my email to my inbox, and I would like to interact with this email. And this is an automated email from the system. All what I need to do is just to reply back to the email. Thanks for sharing the code. I will get in touch very soon. And then I'll reply back to the one who sent me this email, and let's see what will happen. That's perfect. Email has been sent from my Outlook. Just immediately, what's happening here? The email has been attached directly into the same record, the same quotation, telling me exactly what I have shared from my personal Outlook. Thanks for sharing the code, blah, blah, blah. And if from here, for sure, I can reply back to the customer and have all the communication documented under this quotation. Okay. Okay, that's this is for now. So considering that all the discussion on, by the way, communication doesn't only include the email messages. You can maintain tasks, phone calls, events, much more. Just for now, let's consider that the code has been approved, all the discussion has been contacted, and now the customer is ready to start the execution, or we got the quotation signed from the customer. So immediately we're going to create a sales order from the same record. Sales order, or what we call it, sales contract, or even contract, whatever we call it. Again, the notification is being populated for me. All information listed down, and we'll find additional additional information like the quality control, sales order approvals, additional approvals, and inspections as well, actually a lot of information. I'm considering that I do have all the information. I just would like to put here the PO number 2019 345334. This is the PO that I received from the customer. Again, here is the expect shipping date. Here we do have the create work order and create PO. And this is, we will demonstrate it later on, how you can link the operations team, the operational part with the sales part as well. Just for now, I will save. We will find here the job is being populated with all the records, and I will highlight this one later on. Actually, later on, after few minutes, maybe few seconds. Well, so now here the sales order is linked to the code and the opportunity and to opportunity as well. If I click on the code, back again to code, and we'll find the status has been changed. So it's processed. That's perfect. Well, and back to the sales order, we find here that the sales order is being created. Now let's jump from the sales order to the project that we have created, or the job that we have created, project or job as we call it. Well, we find all the relevant information file here in the estimated hours to complete this project. An email, again, thank you, thanks email sending to ACM group. This is an automated email capturing all the information using the email template from NetSuite. That's perfect. Back to the project. Here is the remaining work, estimated work, all the communication. Again, all communication, you will find all communication listed, and even Arabic messages can be sent to the production team, for example, to start the production. So even Arabic or English communication can be shared. Well, so under the schedule, we'll find here that the schedule has been automatically created based on what? Based on the template that we have shared or we have used, considering the time used for each. Another financial information, related records related to this one. Under related records, there is a very important feature here, which is submissions. So before starting executing the process, I would like to do some submissions and get the approval for these submissions. So now I will create a new submission based on some work that has been executed. What is the type of the submission? I can add new type easily from here. So concept 3D, material, HSE, whatever. So let's consider that I would like to submit this one. By default, the status is under revision, and I will just click save. For sure, I can add additional notes. I can attach files. So if there is any drawings or something like this, can be attached directly here. Then I'll click save. Going under related records, we'll find that this is the first submission. Simply, I can click on the ID of it, and I'll find here that I can, if maybe it's rejected, it's approved with comments. So first of all, let's make it's approved with comments, for example. So we'll find that the status has been changed to approved with comments. Again, I just didn't configure it right now, but it's the same concept exactly. If you'd like to send email to the customer, send the internal email to different departments. So it's a piece of cake so you can configure such type of emails to have a proper communication between different teams. So let's consider now that we got the final approval from the customer, okay? And for sure with the authorized person, we are applying the highest security rules. We call it field level security. So up to the field level, we can give security, considering me as a sales person responsible for receiving and so on. So I will just click on approve and lock and see what will happen. See, this edit button has been removed. All what I just can do is just print this record. This record has been already logged, so I cannot do anything except to view this record or print this record. For sure, back again to related records, opening this submission, and under mail merge, I can easily email this one, like using my Outlook. We can write a message. I can select a template to be automated and send it to the customer, receiving feedback from customers, send it internally. So I can define from here who is the recipient of this one. So I send it to myself. I can copy others from the system. I can, or even not from the system, from outside the system. I can put here the subject. I even can request read receipt, include some attachment to be sent to the customer as well. It will go to customer again, customer, internal communication, whatever. And when they reply back, the same concept that we applied with the quotation can be applied here. So let me go back to the project. Actually, a lot of other information can be included under this project. Just for now, let's go back to the sales order and see what else can we do perform with the sales order. For now, under create work order, I can simply click on this button and it will automatically create a work order for me. But I will not follow this step. I will go further using the demand planning functionality and start doing planning for the manufacturing process, having the utilize my resources, better utilize my resources. So for now, I will switch my role to procurement, and I will start doing demand planning, starting from supply planning and demand planning. So before doing the demand planning, let me have a deep look about the item setup, because this is very important. This is the foundation setup for the items. So let's search for tensile. Perfect. Here is the tensile shades. This is the assembly item or the manufacturing item. Again, this is the item that has been automatically configured from the estimation board while we are doing the estimation. Well, once I click on the item, all primary information can be included, even image and so on. The manufacturing here, then this is very important. What is the bill of material? We can maintain here bill of material within NetSuite. You can maintain different versions of bill of material. Okay, using this role, I don't have access. This is a sample of the permission violation. So I'll switch to another role to show you how the manufacturing routing. What is the manufacturing routing? So we have here, this is the manufacturing routing in Dubai, for example. What are the routing steps? So here are the routing steps, for example, all the routing steps. Standard cost, moving to inventory and purchasing. What is the inventory costing method? The available to promise method as well, cumulative available to promise, for example. You can configure the the demand planning and the supply planning as well per location level. So location based, you can configure it in based on location level. So this is actually, I can say it's a quick look about the item and the configuration of the item. Just for now, I'll go back to my home page, and I'll start doing the demand planning. Well, so for now, I do have, just keep in mind that we do have an item to be manufactured, which is the tensile shades, needs to be manufactured. And then we would like, for sure, if you do have multiple items needs to be manufacturing in, and they are shared in the same bill of quantity or bill of material, we would like the system to help us to predict and plan this in a proper way. So for now, for sure, you can maintain a NetSuite using OneWorld. You can maintain multiple subsidiaries, different in different countries, maintaining multiple currencies and so on. So just for now, I'm using this Hoffman manufacturing because the demo that I'm using right now, I'm responsible for multiple subsidiaries. I will filter my results to include Dubai. And here for the projection method, this is very important. You have different four different ways in the projection method: linear regression, moving average, and the one that I'm gonna use right now is the sales forecast. So this is based on the sales forecast, okay, based on the sales transactions. I can include it on weekly. I can have it to be the interval to be weekly, and like in the projection duration, I can just mention here it will be 12 weeks. So I'm just telling the system that I would like to do the demand plans for the coming 12 weeks. For which items, simply I can mark all of them, but just for this, for sake of demo, I will select the item we're using right now, and I'll just click submit. And let's see what will be the result. Actually, the system is telling me that there's already a demand planning. Would you like to override or do? So I will override what's existing right now. That's perfect. Simply, where's tensile shades? Let's view what is the results. We can filter the results from here to see what is the demand plan within November. That's great. So it's telling me that there is an item to be forecasted, or to be there is a demand plan in this week, which starts from 27 and ends on 2nd of November, and then another one which is, if you remember, 14th of, so this is another one. So this is my demand plan. Okay, that's perfect. Let me go back again to my home dashboard and start doing the supply planning. So now we've built the demand planning. Now I'm moving to the supply plan. Again, let me select the manufacturing and Dubai. That's perfect. If you have a deep look here, you will find the components of the item itself. So I'll just to have it quickly on another way, I'll mark all of them and submit the supply plans as well. So I'm now submitting the supply plan. So the system is helping me to calculate the demand plans as well, calculating the supply plans. So I will contact this. Here is the job has been generated. Let's open it in a new tab. You can do so for sure and see what is the status. Perfect. It has been completed successfully for all in just a few seconds, as you see. Let's search for any of the items, even the components or the assembly item itself. So let's open the assembly item like this. We'll find that the system has triggered a work order, and this work order with status planned work order, as you see it from here. Back again to the items itself, like this stiffeners, for example, or covers, connectors with the columns. We'll find that the system is telling us the purchase order, because these are raw materials. So again, for this one, purchase order needs to be included as well. Let me just open something here if it's available. Not available. I will mention this one. And even the quantity needs to be purchased or needs to be procured. Well, before moving to the procurement cycle, again, let's open the results that have been populated from the item supply plans. And we will find here that the procurement working in sync, for example, these are the raw materials that needs to be required. So here is the order date based on the lead time. So here the order date should be in that date, and based on in order to receive it on 27th, because the production will start on 28th. So all of such calculations are being calculated immediately. Well, here we will find that the components and what is the quantity required, the on hand, the available. For sure, we don't have this available quantity for now. Okay, so I have here the components and under operations, we will find the planned operations as well. So the manufacturing work center, CNC cutting, branding department, by cutting, fabrication, welding, bending department, loading, and so on. Also, and the machine setup and runtime as well. Here is the planned time. So based on the work calendar we define for each manufacturing work center. So if I do have an access here to view it from here, the quick look. Manufacturing work center, we are defining the work calendar. This is very important. We are defining the work calendar per each sender. So I'm defining here the work starts at 9 a.m. for 8 hours, and these are the working days within the week, and we can define it. So it helps us for better planning as well. Well, very important here before starting the manufacturing and so on. We have here the ability to print the BOM or the bill of material. If I did click on this one, actually in a tabular view, the required bill of quantity will be printed. But this is not the feature that I'm going, or I would like to highlight. The important one, if you drill a little bit down, you will find the system printing for you the instructions and the details that needs to be followed in order to starting this manufacturing process, including the dimensions and all what you need. So it's not about only printing the BOM and the components like naming and description and even the barcoding. For sure, this is one of them, but also to have the instructions, like it's coming from the engineering department or the design department, the ones that are responsible for printing such that. Okay, well, for now, what actually I'm going to do, since I'm using the same role, which is procurement, I will start order the items. So I find here items to be ordered for sure, and or from the reminders, but I'll start ordering the items. Which item I'm starting the ordering from here? I'll select Dubai location, and I'll define from here that the start date, let's make it starting from 1st of. Perfect. So the items that needs to be procured, you will not find here the items that will be manufactured, because it's included in the work order. Here, the raw materials that needs to be manufactured. Well, and here is the vendor. This is the default vendor. If I did open, for example, the item called columns, for example, if I'm going to buy columns from a preferred vendor, so I define this as a preferred vendor, so it has been populated. However, I can override it from here. So where is the vendor? So here are the vendor. So I define here this vendor as a preferred vendor. Yes, it's a preferred vendor from here. So it's automatically populated here, or it can override it here. I can select all the items to be procured, okay? And here is the rate based on multiple ways we can populate this rate. If we are defining a rate, if we can override the rate here, and here is the quantity as well. And then I will submit this one. Now the purchase order is being populated. For example, if we are procuring the items from different vendors, multiple POs actually will be populated. If we are generating from one vendor, like what's happening right now, it will be populated from one vendor. So let's open the purchase order. All the related information has been populated, the location and the status of the purchase order, and even more information you can include. And again, the communication, you can send email, receive emails, you'll find what is the related transaction, billing, shipping, approvals, whatever that you'd like to include. And this one, you can, it will be included here. The thing, what we call it, the 360. Okay. And for sure you can print it to send it to the customer, all such information. For sure there is advanced procurement cycle, starting from requisition, sending RFQ, having a portal on vendor so they can submit their proposal. This is what we call it in NetSuite advanced procurement. Okay, just for now I will start receiving the items. Just to complete the flow, I will start receiving these items. Here is the location. So it's being, this is for the purpose of the inspection. It can be received under this location, which is receiving inspection. As you can see, this is the default location or the original location. Maybe while I'm receiving it, I'm receiving different quantities. So partially receiving can be applied. Different rates can be applied with relevant rules that can be applied as well. And to be inspected, because inspection process can be included as well. Now, I'm just saving. I didn't enter any information. In case, just let me edit this. I forgot to do so, but it's okay. Let me maybe repeat it again. Anyway, so what's happening here actually? An automated task has been generated to me, telling me that the inspection is required and it is assigned to the relevant. Okay, so I'll do a package inspection, standard inspection. I'll save this one. That's perfect. So I'm considering that the inspection is being done right now. Well, landed cost as well can be included if there is any GL impact. And this is actually what I'd like to highlight as well. An email has been received, an item for inspection. And if I switched my role actually from here to the inspection guy, just for now I did the inspection, but I'll be able, on my reminders, I'll be able to find items needs to be inspected. I can sort by date, by filter, and so on. So here is the items that needs to be inspected. So I need to take the relevant action, for example, and start doing this inspection for these items. So here is a different role for inspection. So if there is someone is only responsible for the inspection, he can come and open the task, find the relevant item, and start doing the inspection for the items that are being inspected. Okay, so let me switch my role back to the manufacturing. So now I have received the item. I'm probably expecting to start receiving the invoice from the AP clerk. I'll switch my role to receive the AP clerk, but consider that I do have the materials right now on my warehouse, or the have been received to my location. So I will start doing right now the production process. Once I logged as manufacturing person, the dashboard will be changed actually to reflect my activities. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark, if you remember, the work order was marked as planned work order. So I would like to release this work order right now. So I have here an option called mark order, work orders released. I find that this is the work order, if you remember the work order. So I will just mark this one. For sure, I can filter by different attributes or select multiple options. Yes, here I have to select the subsidiary. Okay. Then I'll submit this one and see the stats. Now it's running, not started. So let's wait until this process completed. And now what's happening right now, the work order is being marked as released. So I can start issuing the components from the warehouse. I can start enter the completion of the work order. So if we just searched for this work order 1753, yes, this is the work order. Let's see the status currently. It has been released. So I'm pretty sure that if we refresh this page, yes, it's completed, no errors, that's perfect. Back to the work order, the status has been released. Again, you can print the BOM as mentioned previously to include all the details and instruction to start the manufacturing process. Well, and you'll find here that the quantity on hand right now is exactly the quantity that we need, because this is based on the purchase orders that has been issued and the whole process. Back again to the operation port, plan port, and so on. So I can start from here to issue the components from the warehouse. So now we're issuing the components. Okay, so it's automatically the raw materials components. I can select the starting operation and the starting from CNC till loading, starting the start of the operation till the end of the operation. If there is any other information, I can include as well. So now I have issued the components, started the, so it impacts on the warehouse in real time. And here in the work order itself, back again to the work order, I can start entering the completion of the work order. So the belted quantity here is 0. So I'll start entering the completion. For sure, while I'm entering the completion, I can start with one operation. And for sure, we can include the name of the operation here. And to end with one operation, I can start with operation number 1 and end with 2, for example. So I'm entering here so completed quantity, let's say it's 1. I have to define the inventory details here. So it's in a good stats. Here is the machine resources used, labor resources based on the configuration, and for sure now we are entering the actual data, so we can see the machine setup time in minutes, and labor setup time, and machine runtime, and labor runtime as well. Okay, now if there is any scrap, for sure we can include the scrap, the projected value. So this is the projected value for manufacturing. So now we are entering the work order completion. So first of all, we have work order, issue components, and then work order completion, or for sure work order completion with backslash. Well, so this is a belt quantity. So most probably the work order now is quantity on hand, it's 0 because we've already issued it and component has been built. Okay, now we can, what we're going to do right now, back to my home dashboard. Okay, let me go from here. Again, whatever kind of communication or emails, for example, if you'd like the system to automatically, once the sales order, once the work order is built, to send an email to the sales rep, for example, or to the customer that your work order has been completed and the item is ready, for example, for shipping, for sure this can be easily automated within NetSuite. And even here is another communication with different department, for example, to start doing some their tasks. So I can come up here, mark work orders as belt. This is the one. So the ordered quantity is 1, the belt is 1, there is no scraps, there is no remaining quantity. For sure, this one as well. Okay, anyway, just for now, I will select the work order that I need to mark as belt, and then I'll submit this one. So the process is being run so I can make sure that the work order has been built successfully. It's in progress actually. Let me just open it in a new tab. It's perfect, it's built. Refresh this one again. That's perfect. Well, so now I have this work order built. If I did open the item itself, drilling down to the assembly item, the manufacturing item itself, go to the inventory, I'll find that the quantity on hand became 1, and this is the value and the average cost. And last purchase price, actually this it's not purchased, but it's being generated from the work order completion. So from the work order, or from the item itself, I can go to the manufacturing, have everything connected to each other. And again, under the related transaction for this item specifically, I can find all the historical information, all the codes, all work orders, all the completions, all shipments that have been issued. So now we have the item ready using the demand planning, or doing the planning, the communication between different departments. So what's being done right now, we will start fulfilling or shipping these items to our customers. So actually, who is the one responsible for this? It's the warehouse manager. For sure, it can be someone else, but just for now, I'm configuring to. Once I log as warehouse warehouse manager, I'll find here on my reminders, orders to fulfill, orders to fulfill. So I click on the orders to be fulfilled. I can filter by customer. So let's filter by ACM group. Just a bit quickly. Actually, ACM group has multiple sales orders. Okay. These are the one. I think this is the latest one we just created, and it's calculating here the weight as well. And this is just filtering. I can fulfill multiple ones, but just for now, I'll fulfill one sales order, which is 1112. So this is the sales order. If you remember the shipping as well, if you'd like to change the shipping here, what else I'd like to include? Everything is included. Just reviewing my data. That's it. And then let's save and see what will happen. So now we are shipping this item just to having a proof of the shipment. Perfect. The sales order has been fulfilled. Back again to the sales order. I can search for it if I remember the number. Again, okay, I can filter by writing something like this for filtering for this sales order with ACM group. Perfect. So the state's changing from pending fulfillment to pending billing. So I will start billing this sales order. I will switch my role. Let's bill it from warehouse manager if I do have the authority. Another email being communicated to the customer. Dear ACM group, thank you for shopping at Azdan Manufacturing One World. Your order number, blah, 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 has been fulfilled. Order summary. Again, if you see within the demo, I am configuring multiple layouts of it. This is a basic one, for example. There is an advanced one, as you see in the previous email. There is a simplified interface one, and a lot of it. So I'm now issuing the invoice. Again, just making sure that everything is okay. All the information has been pulled from other sources. So let's just for now, let's save the invoice. after saving the invoice, for sure you have find here that the invoice can be generated in multiple languages. It's a lot of options. Well, I'm not the authorized person to start accepting the payment, but just for now, let me copy this invoice and go to the other role, which is AR clerk, the one responsible for accounts receivable transactions, and see what's happening. Once I log here again, everything is changing to my role. I will go directly to AR aging. This is very important to me as an AR clerk. Let's search for ACM group. Thank you. So here's ACM group. You remember this is the if you click on this one, the item itself, it drills down, giving you the exact invoice. I just copied it for our reference here. So we'll find this is the invoice 415. This is the same invoice. If I click on this invoice, it's aged negative 15 days because it's not due yet. But let's consider that the customer will pay in advance. That's perfect. So the status of the invoice is open. I will start accepting the payment of this invoice. Now I can direct deposit it to checking, whatever the account, or I can even have it undeposited for the purpose of doing the reconciliation. And if there is any other open invoices, this is all the transactions for demo purposes. It's from 2017 actually. Anyway, so even if there is any discount taken, it will be automatically applied here. The payment can be partially paid, for example. So, or even if I would like to include, for example, if I put here 50,000 and click auto apply, so the system will auto apply based on the FIFO method, which is first invoices will be paid, but for sure doing this in a normal way without entering any data, so it will be automatically. Now I'm accepting this payment, and then I will go back to the original transaction, which is a sales order. Let's open this invoice, for example. We'll find this sales order is connected or created from, this invoice is created from this sales order. This sales order, the status of the sales order has been built. So this is just a brief about how we can do with NetSuite related to the manufacturing part. Quite sure that we discussed a lot of topics right now related to the demand planning, and for sure there is very advanced features related to the demand planning using the items and the methods or the approaches that can be applied within the demand planning part. For sure, if you'd like to have detailed demo or any further discussions, you can watch different videos related to different areas explaining much more information about different features and functions that you can perform within NetSuite. Just the final thing that I would like to highlight, using the controller rule, just for sake of the finance guys, a lot of reports can be run. First of all, so you can maintain multi-subsidiary interface. So I have here multiple subsidiaries in different countries. So this is the ones that we're using, Hoffman or Azdan Manufacturing, the one that we're using. And here is, for example, if you'd like to go to your budget versus actual, for example, bank reconciliation, purchasing, vendors and payables, inventory and web as well, AP aging, AR aging, the closing at the end of each month, some financial ratios and KPIs, a lot of information you can drill down, but simply let's open the income statement, the normal report that we're familiar with, and let's run it by department-wise. So simply with simple clicks, you can run the income statement department. Let's run it instead of having it to this period. Let's open this fiscal year and just refresh and see. Let's see what will be the result. Okay, this is for Hoffman only. Let's run it for the consolidation. By the way, consolidation in NetSuite doesn't mean aggregation. It means consolidation by its mean. It means elimination entries between subsidiaries, intercompany transactions as well. Last fiscal year. I'm quite sure that this one includes more information. Anyway, this is by department, by location, if you'd like to have it by location, for example. Exactly, so this is by location. You can extract a lot of other things you can do. Thank you for watching the video. For sure, if you do have any further clarification, we're happy at any time to support and give you all the relevant answers. and making sure that you're getting the highest benefit from using the most advanced, one of the best, or the number one actually cloud ERP solution. Thank you again.